Tonight, we are looking ahead to the 2020 presidential race. Several people have already thrown their hats into the ring, mostly Democrats. Right now, President Trump's approval rating is below 40%. So what could that mean for those running in 2020? Here to talk about this is the executive director for the Travis County GOP, Spencer Davis, and Manny Garcia, the executive director of the Texas Democratic Party. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Manny, President Trump is feeling the pressure of the government shutdown, which has ended at least temporarily, along with negative attention about not getting his wall funded. Are these issues and his dropping poll numbers causing Democrats to see Trump as vulnerable?
Well, it's very clear from day one of his administration that he was vulnerable, not just because of his temperament, not just because of his propensity to lie, but because he refused to do one thing to invite an American into his coalition. And this is how he's operated his administration the entire time. Now what we are hearing is that Texas is the most important battleground state in 2020. The state Republican chair James Dickey and John Cornyn are going around D.C. sounding the alarm that if Republicans lose Texas, they will never get the presidency in our lifetimes.
Wow. Spencer, how likely is it the president or President Trump will see GOP challengers in this primary, or do you think he's safe?
I don't think we'll see a GP challenger. You know, the one that we thought that we'd see, one of them at least, was former Senator Jeff Flake, and he announced today that he would not be throwing his hat into the ring. A re-election campaign, as far as within the party, is a very different story than an open primary. The fact of the matter is that the Republican Party has coalesced behind the president, and that's because he's been running it for 3 years. So we've seen just last week out of New Mexico, the Republican National Committee saying we are behind the president 100%. So this time around, they don't have to wait until the convention when a nominee is announced. They already have their nominee. And so they will be going to the bat for the president right away. And I just don't think that a Republican challenger is going to see the map ahead of them in that and say, I've got a chance or an opportunity.
Manny, what are the chances a Democrat or an independent candidate could win a race against Trump?
I think it's quite possible. I think when you see that Texas is a single-digit state and you see the number of electoral votes that Texas has and brings to the table, it mathematically starts becoming impossible for a Republican to win when you win Texas. And what we have already seen in 2016, we became a single-digit state. In 2018, Beto O'Rourke and our Democrats all across the state really narrowed that gap to 2.5 points. And now we're looking at yet another U.S. Senate race, a presidential race, presidential level turnout, and the possibility of flipping the Texas House. Are there more than enough reasons for folks to get excited here in Texas about what's going on?
Spencer, is there anyone, Democrat or Republican, who has not announced their candidacy yet that you see taking on President Trump?
I see a lot of people trying. You know, I think the fact of the matter is that the Democrats think he's vulnerable because they've been underestimating him since day one. If you look at 2016, they didn't think he was just vulnerable. They thought he was dead in the water, and they pointed towards the same thing, the polls. And the fact of the matter is that job approval ratings are a very different question than who would you select once you have nominees. So we'll continue to see people. It seems like right now every Democrat with more than 10,000 Twitter followers is announcing, or at least an exploratory campaign. But I think the story is still going to be they are underestimating the president and his staying power within his base. And I think it will be just as close as it was in 2016, but I expect we'll still see the Republican fundamentals around the country and in Texas holding strong.
All right, we are out of time, but Spencer, Manny, thank you both for sharing your perspectives with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.